Whatever.
I never been the type of person to take nothing, man. Like I don't take pills and shit.
But ginseng is natural though. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that's something like it's a pill that man made. You can go find that whether you can tolerate it in a drink or
it don't have nothing to do with if it's man made or a doc or a scientist.
Yeah, I don't like taking pills. Yeah, that's how I am. I just don't like popping pills. I don't care if it's
I just go through it, dog. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never like my girl be talking shit about this shit. Like we got all type of shit because she a naturalist. Like she do all type of natural stuff. Not just like she's like you want this, you want that. I'm like nah. I just go. I've been doing this all my life, man. Like I just started getting sinuses or having migraines and shit. I've learned to live with the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But my remedy is go to sleep because I don't feel no pain in my sleep. You know what I'm saying? So I just pass out like fuck
But that's what you're supposed to do though. It's the body's natural way of healing.
Yeah.
Rest and water is definitely
I drink plenty of water. And then it's like the only thing with that is though, like migraines though, I can feel the migraines in my sleep. Ain't no sleeping them motherfuckers away. Like I be passed out, dude, in my sleep. That motherfucker, I can feel it in my sleep bank.
Yeah, you still got it when you wake up. Yeah,
that's how I know it's a migraine because the pain is no relief with sleep. I can feel it in my sleep. I wake up with the motherfucker. It don't go away until I wake up the next day and shit. Be like, damn, man, that motherfucker. And then it's like a headache hangover the next day. Like I be so scared I'm gonna get the motherfucker back. You know what I'm saying? That I be trying to do everything not to get that motherfucker back and shit. But yeah, that motherfucker.
Yeah, I know
no motherfucker joke, dog.
Because a lot of it got to do with your sinuses. Elderberry is good too, and you don't have to do the pills. You can do the drops.
Okay.
So I do the elderberry, echinacea. I do that in drops because I hate taking pills too. But some stuff I got to take. My potassium be low, so I take potassium pills. And whatever you think you don't get enough of from foods that you eat. Then that's just what I try to supplement. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hate popping pills. But man, let me get this out of my thinking too, man. So we don't this dang on Will smacking shit out of.
I'm sitting there watching the news too. I was just about to say that shit.
Like ever since I woke up,
that motherfucker smacked shit out of Chris Rock, God.
At work.
Hey, everybody talking about it.
Everybody talking about it. So
everybody,
like, just get that narrative out of the way.
Yeah, so I mean, so with it we have to understand, man, that Jada Pinkett is a fucking thug, dude. Remember, her and Pac was best friends.
Yeah.
Will Smith is still living under that, so he had to react how Pac would react. For Jada to be cool. For real. Like, that's how she was looking at him like, you bitch ass nigga, if I would have just stuck with Pac, it wouldn't have been no question. I wouldn't have had to look at him and none of you to rush that stage so quick and beat the shit out of Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? So Will Smith is like, he's living under that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
he was laughing. If you look at it, he was laughing at it at first and everything. And she looked at him like, you bitch ass nigga. He like, damn. So I got to do something.
So do you think as he was walking up to the stage, he didn't know what he was gonna do? He just knew I had to do something, and then when he got up there, he was just like, "All right, let me just smack him."
Yeah,
nah, he knew. He knew what he was
he knew he was gonna smack him.
Yeah, he knew.
I don't think he knew. I don't think he knew like what action he was. No, I'm saying not like. No, I'm saying like either a punch or a smack. He knew he had to do something.
What's worse?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you who was caught off guard. Chris Rock was caught off guard.
He was.
Yeah, definitely.
Listen. I'm gonna tell you for. And somebody said it. Somebody said it. I can't remember what I was watching, but Chris Canty on on Max Will and Jay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he said it this morning. He said, now the problem is if we've all fell in love with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but Will Smith is from Philly.
Yeah,
for real. Like he's from Philly, from the gutter for real. Like they don't do that. Philly came out in him. He's like, all right, y'all feel like y'all want to just do whatever, so let me show you what it is for real. Like I'm not tripping about no bail time, no jail time. I got money, I get out.
Yeah.
But my only sad part for Will is use the peacekeeper, bro. You lost your cool in the moment where you could have took care of that backstage.
I mean, okay, but it showed that he deal with emotions like everybody else. He was emotionally overloaded. That had to have been a lot of emotional overload,
man.
To know that you in front of the whole world and you zone everybody out, to get up out your seat, walk up, and then spot this nigga. Like,
man, bro, but to turn around,
Chris Rock reaction, like, what kind of nigga are you, man? This motherfucker, he didn't crack you. He open hand slapped you like a bitch, and then turned his back and walked off.
Dude,
hell nah, man. Motherfucker, your temple wide open. I'm finna lay your ass out on the stage. You gonna be asleep. You gonna be asleep like a motherfucker. That motherfucker open hand slapped him. He didn't even try to knock him out. He open hand slapped him and then turned his back and walked off. Right. Wait, hold on, man. What kind of bitch do you think I am and shit?
Did you go slap me?
Hit that motherfucker so hard in this temple. He'd have woke up in the hospital asleep. Like, oh man, what
happened? So this is the reason why I feel like it was premeditated.
He'd have woke up, dog. Like, oh man, I'd have hit his ass so hard, dog.
And it was open hand too.
I'm telling you, he turned around and walked off. He turned his back on him, man. That's one thing. That's one thing a black motherfucker know not to do, man. Especially if you ain't knock a motherfucker out. Don't turn your back and walk away, dog. Don't do it, man.
See, but this is still a teachable situation, right? Because in the moment, the Will could keep himself together. Chris, who's from New Jersey, from the gutter too, was like, okay, I'm not. Even though I could, I'm not finna make this worse than what it is.
No, that wasn't Chris Rock reaction. Chris Rock was shocked than a motherfucker.
Okay, all right.
He didn't know what the fuck was going on. Watch the video. He was shocked as hell. He didn't know what the fuck to do.
Look, Chris Rock ain't just played that character in CB4 for nothing. That's his character, man. He ain't about to do nothing. Now, what if that was Dave Chappelle? What if Dave Chappelle was?
He wouldn't have did that to Dave, man. I thought that too. He would not have done that to Dave, man.
No. If he did, Dave Chappelle had something for him.
Yeah, he'd have knocked him out. Like I'm saying, you don't. You didn't ball your fist up.
He knew who he was. He knew who he was coming at, man.
Because like I said, you don't. Everybody knows. Every motherfucker know. You didn't ball your fist up and had the potential to knock him out. You slapped him like a bitch and then turned your back on him and walked off.
Hey,
but what if Dave Chappelle, man, he would have mop wheel on that stage, man.
Right, but what if Chris would have just rocked him while he was walking?
I know.
Walking back to the seat, though, man.
I know.
Yeah. But I mean, for real, for me though, like seriously, like I mean, that's cool. Everybody, all the women. You standing up for your woman, blah blah. Blah. I mean, man. That's cool. That's cool. But at the end of the day, man, to see one brother go up against another brother at the level
of course, man, it make us look like what they
man
think
was
we
loving
are.
That man, like you know what I'm saying.
It definitely make them look at us. Yeah, look at them niggas. Vision. They can't control themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. You bring them to this higher level, and they still can't get it. And that's how I looked at it. And, but they made peace. I just read
Man.
Somebody put Chris Rock's response. He apologized,
Man.
and then Will turned around and he did an apology too. Like, you know, he apologized.
Because I don't think. And
at the end of the day, that's
Chris Rock. I don't think Chris Rock knew about Jada's condition, though.
That's for us, bro.
I don't think he knew either.
Yeah,
that's for us.
Because you know, all these women, man, they get older and they cut their hair off, man. I don't think Chris Rock knew Jada's condition. That's why he did the joke in the first place. I don't think he had no idea that she had that condition. Because I didn't know. I didn't know until this morning.
Yeah, I didn't know either.
Right, but at the same time, somebody brought. I mean, it was another clip. Somebody showed it that Chris Rock had took a shot at Jada the year her and Will decided they was gonna boycott the Oscars in 2009. Yeah. So now you can say that Will has every right to be like, all right, now this is the second time in a row.
You picking on my woman and shit, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To me, in all seriousness, when I woke up this morning, well, actually, before I went to bed last night, and I seen the video, I honestly had to watch it like 3 times. Like, that's not Will doing that, man.
No, that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it. Y'all know I keep up on that shit. I watch the news, everything. I was watching it in real time. I seen it. It was on live TV, man.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't no cutout. This wasn't no commercial. This is on live TV. I watched it in real time, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's not Will doing that, no, not Peacekeeper, man. Like, I'm like, man.
You know, I've been noticing that about myself too, man. It's just like, I don't want to be entertained anymore. Like, if I can't grab something profound, that's your word, Mark. You know, if I can't grab nothing that I feel like that I can apply or that I can see something, then it's not worth watching to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to just be entertained no more. I'm trying to find some hidden nuggets or some comparisons to how I think, man. I go back and I look at stuff that I watched before, and now I see, you know, a little bit of truth and meaning behind it and digging out stuff. Like, so man, entertainment for me, man, is growth, understanding. Like I don't just like watching something that's gonna make me laugh. Now I take that back. With comedy, I want to laugh. That's probably the only thing. Like stand up, I still like watching stand up because it feels good. It's therapeutic for me to laugh.
I watch stand up. I watch them. Remember, I showed you them clips. I be watching the shit of the dudes. I watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong.
What's that?
I still like to be entertained. I still like a good ass movie. I'm a movie buff though. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I watch all type of movies, different kind of shows and shit. I still like to be entertained, but I do love when it's, you know, like we're talking about the Marvel shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like at first watching it, you like, okay, they took the comic books. Like that was the best thing they ever could have did, was take the comic books and put them on the movie screen
and make it real life.
Yeah. But then you see like this shit got so many different messages. Like if you watching them and you get to the point where they at now, and it looked like they trying to make it to the source, to the ultimate God. Yeah. It looked like that's where it's going.
Yeah.
After they done went through all these different guides and all this, you know, they even went to Babylon and did, you know, the Eternals. And shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the way that ended, you know, with that God thing, and then you look at the low key with the God in that, like it looked like they trying to get to,
you
know, the Thanos look like they trying to get to the source. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that these writers, like, especially remember we was watching Low Key, the Low Key series?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that these writers know that they dropping jewels or sudden hints, or is it God
working through them and they have no damn idea?
Yeah, they don't know, no idea. They just got these ideas. Some of this stuff is based off of our reality to a sense or certain people's beliefs, but are they using that to say, ooh, this is just good content for a movie? or
I think they because of what they did, like you see how they do, like the like I said with the Eternals. The Eternals, they knew what the fuck they was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not that you couldn't mistakenly do that.
Right. Put
you know what I'm
subtle
saying?
hints
Yeah.
in creation and
yeah. They knew what they was doing with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what make you look back. Now I got to go back and look at all this other stuff and be like, okay, man, they know what the hell they doing. You know what I'm saying? I think they do have some knowledge, but if you look at it, like they putting everything in it. So I don't think they like per se Christians or Muslims, or I think they have knowledge in everything and they put everything out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like they doing. You know what I'm saying? But you have to know the shit to understand it. You have to know that you have to know it to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like most motherfuckers that watched Eternals, they had no idea what the fuck they was talking about.
Right. You mean like far as seeing the gates of Babylon and all of that?
Right, and all the gods, the names and all that. Like most people don't know what the hell that was. That's why people talking about it was boring. And
they never heard of Gilgamesh. Nobody don't know who Gilgamesh is.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't know who the hell it is. So they thought it was boring and shit like that. But if you watch it and you know what the hell they was doing, you know the stories behind it. Yeah. You like, damn, these people done studied some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Well, that's why I thought I had it right here, man. But that just made me think about when we was talking about the Epic of Gilgamesh. Like all of the ancient texts from the oldest leading up, you know what I'm saying? Like the top 10.
Yeah.
The top 10 list of ancient texts. Like, how much are all of these stories do you feel like is on a timeline? Do you think like the Sumerian text and then the Egyptian text and leading up to the Babylonian text, then the Hebrews, do you think that all of that is all on the same timeline?
What you mean as far as what timeline though? Like how?
Like, do you think like they're telling, do you think that, okay, a lot of them are telling similar stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But do you think like the way that these people laid these stories out is on a timeline for a reason? Like that we end up getting the Hebrew account before the Sumerian, and then we get the Sumerian after the fact. Like, is it a reason? Is it a reason behind that?
Well, you know how God works. Everything happens for a reason. There's a purpose behind everything. Now, I can't sit and say I know why. Like, you're right. Why did God give us the Hebrew text first? Well, because, and this is good that we talk about this because what was we because we was the thing that I put in the group that was talking about the Babylon thing and how Nebuchadnezzar took the Israelites back to Babylon.
To Babylon, right.
But wasn't, they wasn't in slavery. You know what I'm saying? Again, Egypt. And this is like, we've been talking about this for years, man, and we still haven't figured this out. Like, why is Egypt so important, dog? Egypt has to be important, man, because of how many times it's mentioned. And I was thinking yesterday or the day about the pyramids, man. Like, they still to this day don't know how the pyramids were made. With all the technology we have, everything we have, they still don't know how it was made. I'm thinking like, man, did God build them pyramids, dog? Like, and that's why Egypt is so important. And we haven't even figured it out yet. Like, if you look at how many times And like, I didn't even know, like when we, I knew, but I don't look at the Nebuchadnezzar story that much because it's so far ahead of where I be at. So I don't look at it that much.
Neo Babylon. It's the new Babylon.
Right. So I don't look at it that much. But then I was looking at it then, and I'm like, when they were talking about how they was cool with Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At that time, I'm like, well, this is way the hell after they was slaves in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So they were slaves in Egypt, then they end up getting cool with them. But like I said, again, the root of it, Egypt is mentioned again. Yeah. We talking about Abraham going to Egypt. We talking about Moses being raised in Egypt. We talking about Nebuchadnezzar, when Nebuchadnezzar took the Israelites into Babylon, we talking about at that time they was cool with Egypt. We talking about Jesus being damn near raised in Egypt till he was 12. Again, Egypt again, everybody, and they were talking about how Jeremiah was in Egypt. New. Jeremiah escaped to Egypt. He went to Egypt. Everybody that's anything went to Egypt. Yeah. Why? Is, and this is in, we talk about the Bible, we talk about how it's inspired, we talk about how these are God's people. Egypt mentioned all these times in God's word. Yeah. Why?
And then I'm trying to find that that one list I had of all of the ancient texts. But what's crazy is a lot of these ancient texts, whether it's tablets, scrolls, whatever artifacts that we find in, most of the time is found in Egypt. That's another thing. And
that's another thing. Right. I'm glad you said that. Because that's another thing too. All of them was found in Egypt. So, like I said, and I'm glad you brought that up because that was another thing I was thinking about. We talking about all these people that I just named made trips to Egypt. Then you talking about all the books, God's word being found in Egypt, not in his Holy Land. All the books are found in Egypt. I was watching a thing earlier that was talking about that. Remember, did you see the video? I put the video on there where it was talking about that, like all these, they was talking about the ancient texts and all that, how all of them are found in Egypt. Why is Egypt so important? It's not, Egypt is not Shem's people. You know what I'm saying? That's not the line that Jesus came through. That's Ham. That's Ham's son, Mezarine. That's what Egypt means. That's what Egypt is Mezarine. Yeah. That's Ham's son. Yeah, it is.
So,
okay. Go ahead, man. Okay, go ahead.
So, what I was going to say is, what got me thinking is we always talk about how Joseph is not in the written remembrance of the Egyptians. It also seems as if ever since after he died, for whatever reason, they was always welcome.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure if that's the case because Joseph's name could have been something else.
Right,
Egyptian. I haven't. And I really want to get into really reading,
which it might be why we can't find a record of it.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
But he could be in a list. He could be one of these pharaohs.
But now
we just don't know which
one. The one that you just said it was a whole section that was where the Israelites really hung out at, where they were saying that it was a thing with 12 pillars and all of that.
Before they went into slavery, before they were slaves, they had their own area in Egypt that they was living. Yeah, I seen they got like archaeological evidence of what it is. It's the Hyksos. This is what they call them.
Yeah, it's the Hyksos.
This is what they call them. Yeah, it was a time.
Israelites. Yeah,
right. It was a time which they were just Semitic people. They don't know who they were. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. It was a time when Semitic people, which means Shem people, the people from the Levant, the Canaan, had pretty much took over Israel. Now it wasn't like a a hostile takeover. Well, they don't know how they did it. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the records and stuff, they don't know how they did it. They think like it was a political thing, like they got elected in the power.
Yeah.
But it was a time when when Semitic people ruled Israel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that could have been Joseph. So when that person died, that's when they went into slavery.
Yeah. So I got questions about that. So would that have been Semitic people, the Hyksos, that migrated and mixed in Egypt, rose into power? Would that have been who was the ruling pharaoh when Joseph entered into Egypt?
Yeah,
and that's one of the reasons why they show him favor, because he looked similar to them.
Yeah.
Or could it be Jacob's family was considered the Semitic people that eventually grew, and of course his son was in power already, and they began to become a great group of people in Egypt, and they began to rule. And then at some point, the original Egyptian people said, "No, this is enough of this. It's too many of these Hyksos. Let us rise back up and take the seat." And when they took the seat, that's when you see the
how the Bible Hebrews, if you look at how the Bible reads, it says that Joseph went to Egypt, whatever, all that happened, and he came into power. Jacob and them went, and when they went, they didn't become slaves out the gate. Like they had their own area. They grew as a people, and then the Pharaoh died that Joseph was cool with, and that's how they went into slavery.
Yeah,
and Joseph died first.
It happened just
Joseph
like
died first. Joseph died first. Then Joseph died first.
Right. Because,
Because Jacob blessed his sons right before he died.
Yeah. It happened the same way that it happened with the Hyksos. It happened. They look at because remember, Dodge, we was talking about this like a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same. It reads the same exact way. They looking at it like it's two different parts of history. They saying the Hyksos, which is the Semitic people, did this, did that, and then they look at the Bible story like it's two totally different things, because the Hyksos is in Egyptian literature.
Right.
The Egyptians are talking about the Hyksos, and then Joseph and them is in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? But you don't see Joseph and them talked about in Egyptian literature.
Right. But the
Hyksos so it's like Martin said, this is them, but we just don't know their names. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And when we look at the facts that we have about the Hyksos, they were Semitic people, but we don't know. We can't rightfully identify them with any of the Canaanite regions or Canaanite cities. Like
right. Yeah.
We just know that they came from that. They came from that area, and they were Semitic people.
Yep. It could have been any of them.
So that
you know what I'm saying? Like
that fit.
But
Joseph
like I said, if you look at
Jacob and Isaac and Abraham, them, because they were the one group of Semitic people that was roaming and migrating throughout the land of Canaan. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
So that kind of, but
and I was watching some earlier too, man, and I'm about to look at, because they were talking about the early Egyptian dynastic period, right? And they was talking about how the early ones, like a lot of the early ones aren't on the later Egyptian pharaoh list. It's just like a king list. I'm finna see if they early dynastic thing line up with the Bible and the Sumerian account, man.
Oh, that's a good thing, because that's what we talked about last episode, was how much the biblical.
I'm about to see if it lines up, man. I study Egypt, but I never really studied. And because like I said, I was looking. I had a time when I was looking for Noah, trying to figure out where Noah was at. Boom, boom. So looking for Noah made me look at his kids and his grandkids. So that's how I got to study in Egypt and stuff like that. And I stopped because I couldn't get to Mesarine. You know what I'm saying? Which like I said, I think I seen them because they were talking about one real early pharaoh who got buried, and his tomb wasn't like the pyramids. His tomb was made from like the brick that they built the ziggurats with, right? And he got buried with a ship.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, remember that? I'm like, that's gotta be him, man. I'm like, who else is gonna get buried with a ship? They got off the boat. You know what I'm saying? They got off the ark. He got buried with a ship, man. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at that, but they didn't have, that's the time there. They didn't have much writing on that pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't find much about him. But I'm about to look at they pharaoh list, man, and see their early dynastic period.
I'm looking at it.
And you know what,
I'm looking at it already.
Yeah, because I was finna say, because you know what, too, I like we be searching for him in a lowly mode and not in a royalty lineage, because he was considered royalty while he was with them. We be thinking Joseph the peasant, and we should be looking for somebody in a royal line. You know what I'm saying? Like that we ain't heard of before, or maybe it's a different name and we just don't figure it's somebody who was always in the gym.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing about it is, I mean, I look at Joseph in his kingly state once he got in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But but kind of like what you're saying, he still came from when we was talking about before about Abraham being a king, and even Jacob. So we know the Bible said that Jacob came in with his 70 members of his family, but I think that it was way more than 70 of them. I think that number 70, of course, is significant because you see 70 all throughout the Bible, but I think that's just showing like his direct because he got 12 sons.
Right.
So I mean, you're thinking about his 12 sons plus all their wives, plus they might have had more than one wife, and then all their kids.
But then too, you have to understand the time and the culture. Women weren't counted.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they say
another good point,
70, they like, okay, 70 men, but how many women and kids was it too? You know what I'm saying?
Right. But like I say, they might not have been counting the servants and the soldiers. Yeah, like come on, man.
Just the main people.
If Abraham was rolling like that too, and he had 300 men ready to go to war with him, why would they diminish in numbers when he's increasing? So
of course,
everything that Abraham,
especially down to Jacob, they was huge at that time.
So it wasn't like people have this concept in their head that the 70 that went into Egypt, that's how the 12. No, they were already bigger than 70. We know that because Abraham had 300. We know he had at least 300 men. So what I'm saying is that,
and that was men, and like you said, that was men in fighting condition.
Yeah.
We're not talking about, like you said, the older people, the kids. Yeah. That was 300 men that could fight. You know what I'm saying?
But the point that I'm making is that they were already increasing. So by the time you get to Jacob moving into Egypt, that's the reason why they gave him such a vast land. If you look at it geographically, the land of Goshen, like that wasn't like no little town.
It was huge. Yeah.
That was a whole city that they was giving them. Why are you gonna give 70 people a whole freaking city for them to rule? Yeah. No, it was a lot of them. I think that 70 was just a significant number though. But I got it pulled up. So when are we saying that the Noah's flood happened? Just guesstimation.
Oh man.
20.
We don't
about
like.
20.
Hey,
I
man,
would
how
say,
do we get? We got to go all
Wait,
the
I
way
mean, okay,
back there.
wait. Okay, wait. I'm just
yeah,
saying
because that's where the
speculation right now.
dynastic. That's where the dynastic period would start. It would start with Mezzanine. He would be the first
Who's dynastic?
pharaoh or
Who you talking
king
about?
of Egypt.
No.
What?
No, that don't make sense.
What, the Mezzanine?
Oh, wait a minute. You just. Okay, listen to this. The first dynasty of Egypt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is dating back the establishment to 3200 BC.
Right.
That's before the flood.
No.
How is that not before the flood, bro?
Nah, that's not even before Sumer. Sumer is 5,000 years. Well,
No.
Yeah.
We saying, okay, I'm talking about where we're saying the flood account happened.
The flood account probably happened
on the biblical timeline. Because remember, the biblical timeline only dates Adam to 4000 BC.
That's fucking impossible.
Okay, let's not argue that. Let's just use the biblical timeline for a point that I made.
You got Sumer. Sumer is 5,000 years old.
Listen. Let's just use that for the sake of the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
So if that biblical timeline, so that if that places the flood around, I'm just guesstimating, like 2300, 2400 BC, right?
Are you saying that Egypt?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that Egypt was already established before Egypt.
So then they rebuilt Egypt again?
It wasn't called Egypt, first of all.
Okay. So what was it called?
Eden.
No. Well, yeah, that was good too. Okay, all right, stop right there. So this is the reason why I said this. So
wait. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't stand that, dude. So say,
I hope I ain't confusing y'all with what I'm trying to say right
now. No. So right, as soon as I said no, my mind was like, what two rivers run through? Oh no, it's not the Nile. So no, never mind.
No, it's not the Nile. It's Euphrates and the Tigris.
The Tigris, right? So no.
But we don't know the other two rivers where they are at. We know the Euphrates and the Tigris. The other two rivers mentioned in the Bible is not rivers. So
back to what you were saying, it may have been called.
Okay. But let's just, we could call it Eden if we want to. The point I'm trying to make, if we go with history and the biblical timeline, and we kind of use that. I don't attest to the biblical timeline at all. Just for the record, I think Adam is way older than 4000 BC. But what I'm trying to say is, but what I'm saying is, when you look at the first dynasty, the first king of the first dynasty, is basically in 3200 BC, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says around 3100 BC. So, and it's 11, I count 11 kings, 11 pharaohs. So that's only two off. Two off from the nine generations of Adam to Noah and the Sumerians kings list.
Oh,
right. Oh. But okay. And the last king, which is, so what I'm trying to say is what if Egypt was already established before Mezzanine? And the first dynasty, oh my God, my phone just be talking, man, for no reason. And these first kings in the first dynasty of Egypt is equivalent to the kings in the Sumerian story and the 9 generations of Adam in the Bible.
Okay, so listen.
Let's think about that for a second.
No, right, this is what I say. This is what I say. Right. I can agree that Egypt was around before the flood. Because I think the Sphinx is before the flood. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The pyramids could be before the flood.
Yes.
But 3000 BC ain't right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not trying to make that right.
Yeah, no.
I agree
but
with
I'm
you.
just saying,
right.
like, it still would have to be way older than that, though.
Yeah, because the timeline is off. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
The timeline is off. But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to look at. I'm just trying to look at cultures.
So what you saying?
Let me say what I'm saying, and then go ahead. What I'm saying.
I'm trying to So are you saying that it may have been called something else, but Egypt survived the flood and they just repopulated it?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not saying no. He didn't survive the flood. Noah survived the flood.
What I'm saying is the city Egypt, not the people.
Yeah.
But Egypt, okay, this is the thing. The city Egypt that we know, which is Mizraim, because Egypt is only a Greek name for it. So the Hebrew name, that's who populated what we know as Egypt today after the flood.
Right.
But before the flood, it was a group of people there.
Mm-hmm.
And they wasn't called Egypt. And I want to throw Kemet in there. Mm-hmm. The Kemetics. I want to throw that in there as the original name, but my understanding is that Kemet is just the original Coptic name for their language.
Yeah.
That the Greeks translated into Egypt, and then it became known as Egypt. That's my understanding.
Right. Yeah.
But whatever it is, it was a group of people there originally before Sumer. Because if you think about what Nandu's saying is when Sumer started, when Noah and them got off the boat. And when they got off the boat, they established Sumer, or whoever from Noah's people established Sumer.
And that's like 8,000 years ago.
Yeah, man. and Egypt or Mizraim migrated to that region that was populated,
which is Ham, right?
It's Ham's son.
It's
Ham's right. That's what I was saying. Remember in the movie, Noah, in the end, Ham was like, "I can't stay," and wandered off.
Yeah. But they all we don't.
The Bible don't say that though. We don't know if the son.
Yeah, I know the Bible don't say that, but I was just saying that he, in the end, he left. Even on the movie, he left.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ham and Japheth and
none
Shem
of the
ever left.
As far as we know, none of the sons left.
Their descendants.
But if you look at the names around that region, it's all Noah's grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
Right after the flood, you can see it. It's Elam, it's Arphaxad, Mizraim, Cush. It's all his grandkids. Mm-hmm. That's who spread around the region. Now you don't see Japheth's kids because they went up to Europe and shit. But Ham and Shem kids, you see them all in them regions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was watching a thing that was saying that they don't even know they don't know if like that was the kids' names or if that was just city names. You know what I'm saying? And the Bible took the city names and named them after, Noah's grandkids and shit.
Mm-hmm. So when is how far back? Okay, what's the first Sumerian tablet is the Kish temple hymns, right?
Yeah.
And that was when?
I don't know how old it is.
So
even before Sumer though, like just base what I be saying off of Sumer though. Göbekli Tepe is 16 to 8,000 years old.
So that's older than
older than Sumer.
Right. But that didn't come with anything but what we found at the temple and the carvings that's on it. It didn't have
right. Yeah, it don't have no writings or nothing. It just got them big ass like 10-foot what's called with animals on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
but the thing is huge as hell. It's like they say it's like 3-4 football fields long.
Okay. Yeah, see, okay, so the Kish Temple hymn is dating back. These are the clay tablets dating back to 2600 BC. That's after every archaeological evidence that we have of the first dynasty of Egypt. That still predates the Sumerian. That's the first Sumerian tablet that we find is the Kish Temple hymn.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Enlil and his wife, whatever her name.
Right.
Ninlil or whatever. So go ahead. No, I'm saying.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's gonna go? All right, I'm gonna go, man. I waited. You wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, but no. What I'm saying, Nandu, is
you got me checking cat wash?
Is what was I saying? You made me lose my point now. What was you talking about? Oh, the Kish Temple hymn. Yeah, what I'm saying is that you're saying that Sumer is our oldest dated civilization, but what about the things that we find from the first dynasty of Egypt? Go ahead.
No. So it's not the clay tablets though. It's the archaeology from their cities.
All right. I corrected myself in my head. So the stories that we have of the first dynasty only tells us stuff that maybe predate what was found, but the stuff that we found is older than anything.
Right. Like I said, it's the cities and stuff, the buildings and stuff that they found. What is it? It's Uruk. It's
Uruk.
It's the cities that predate everything.
So what you got? You got Göbekli Tepe.
That's the oldest thing that they found.
Right.
As far as sites.
And then
it's 16. They said it's in between 16 to 8,000 years old.
Okay. Then you got
Sumer.
Sumer, which is and
Uruk. I have to pull it up to really look at it. You got
the cities that they found.
Yeah.
Then what's next? Egypt.
Yep,
the pyramids, the Sphinx.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think the Sphinx was before the flood though. So that predates everything.
Yeah, but
the reason I say that they said that the Sphinx got water damage. They said the pyramids don't, but they said the Sphinx got water damage. A thing that I watched was talking about that. So I think that's before the flood.
Okay, but the stories though, when I go back to the stories, when you look at the stories of the first dynasty, based off the records that we find of now Egypt. Ham's sons. So Ham's sons people told this story of pre-flood dynasty. Just like Sumerian tablets is telling a story about a pre-flood dynasty. The Bible is telling us a story about a pre-flood dynasty. We got Sumer, we got the biblical account, and we got Egypt, all telling the story about at least between 9 and 11 kings that ruled before the flood. Why would this coincidentally all be different accounts versus 3 groups of people talking about the same lineage?
Yeah.
And
you even have
this is
and the thing about it, you even have the Mayans And people in South America with these stories, man.
Right. I forgot I got my Egypt book.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't never show you that book.
No, I ain't never seen it.
But what did you say? That point you just made?
The Mayans.
Mm-hmm.
You got people in South America with the same stories, man.
Yeah, but we don't find nothing for the Mayans that far back though. Not saying though.
They in BC though.
Yeah, they are in BC, but not that far back.
Yeah, but they in BC though.
But that doesn't mean that's just as far back as what we've been able to.
Yeah, because who are the, and that's the thing about it, like who are the Mayans though? You know what I'm saying? Like they not described in the Bible. Right. You got the people that went to Africa, which is Ham people. You got the people that went to Europe, which is Japheth people, and then Shem people in the Levant and the Sumer and stuff. But who is South America and North America? Who are the Mayans?
Yeah, how the Bible lead that out, man?
How the hell they get way over there though?
Yeah, how they lead those people out? I mean, again, that's back to what we was talking about. We was talking about the boats, man. Who's saying that they wasn't already setting sails, and traveling over there?
Think about. Wait a minute. Wait. But think about this, man. Think about trying to get a boat from Africa to America in BC, man.
Oh, I'm never getting on no boat.
I can't.
I'm not finna be no shipman, man. I'm not.
What I'm saying, Nadu. Now, what I'm saying is, I can't really roll with that. Was a difficult task for them to complete when I look at the pyramids, man. Like, how did they build the pyramids?
I think God built the pyramids, man. I don't think they did it.
You think God built the pyramids?
Yeah.
What? Why?
What you mean? How else was it built?
Why
they still to this day can't figure out how they built them, man.
No, let's talk about what was his purpose of building the pyramids. God, I already gave you my pyramid theory, but I can say it online while we talking now.
Yeah, I don't know why he would have did it, but like they still can't figure out to this day how they built them, man. Like I done watched 100 things, man, talking about these pyramids and trying to like. You could go on YouTube, put the pyramids in, man. You go see 100 people talking about different ways they could have did it.
Okay,
but nobody has an exact way of how they built these pyramids in their time, man.
I mean, my theory on it is that their technology was a lot more advanced than we think, especially before the flood. That's my take on it. I don't think that they were prehistoric or, primordial, just, we invented the wheel and then that's all.
No. I don't think that. Like that.
I think that it was groups of people that were like that. You know what I'm saying? That may have been very primitive, but I think
we got people like that now.
Understanding a lot more technology, and I think after the flood, that's when we started to, So I mean, and I'm not saying that it wasn't that God didn't have His hand in it, or that it wasn't a divine, influence involved. But to say that God, like I don't, because so Mark, I was telling Doe the other day, like this is my little theory on the pyramids. Why I don't necessarily say that the pyramids represents the righteousness of God per se. I'm not gonna say like the pyramids are evil or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is I feel like that the pyramids was pyramids and ziggurats. That was man's attempt in building mountains. Because look what pyramids and ziggurats is in the shape. How do mountains look? Mountains usually start out with a wide base and they peak up to the top. That's how natural mountains form. We know that mountains, this was the place where God was dwelling. He was dwelling on the mountain. We know the mountain you know, the mountain of Eden, Mount Zion, Mount Hermon, like all of these places. Why? Because that was far away from man. You know what I'm saying? Because they're God. We're gonna be way up here. So that's how I look at the pyramids, that man was trying to, you know, build their own mountain so they can access God their way. We got steps. We can actually climb up these. It ain't like these rugged mountains that you climb in today. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have what we had to climb mountains. So they couldn't access. Go ahead.
But how we don't know that them not the mountains that they was talking about?
Okay, that's a good point.
I was just thinking about that while you were saying it, though. You know, we don't know where these mountains are.
Well, we do know where
coming down, though.
We do know where like Mount Sinai is.
No, we don't. We do not know where Mount Sinai is, man.
We don't know where Mount Sinai is?
No, sir. We don't even know where the Exodus happened at. How we gonna know where Mount Sinai is?
Well, then
we don't know where Mount Sinai is. You could go on YouTube, you're gonna see 100 people talking about.
All right, so what mountain do we know that's in the Bible? Is it any mountain that we do notice in the Bible? Mount Hermon?
I think they might know where Mount Hermon at, but like they don't know where
Mount Olive. Mount Olive, we know where that's at.
The Mount of Olives, where Jesus was at?
Yeah.
Oh, well, do they know where that's at though?
Yeah, they know where the Mount Olives. Yeah, that means it's easier. People go there now and
that's where the what's called is, right?
Sermon on the Mount.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I'm talking about the old mountains in the Old Testament.
Okay, so that's a good point though.
We don't know where them mountains at. What if them? Like I said, because Egypt has some kind of significance, man. It's mentioned way too many times.
Not
to have some significance, man.
I'm with you on that. And I'm like I say, I'm glad we talking about this because we get Taye on the show, man.
Yeah.
Break it down for us. Yeah, I mean it's definitely.
What if he helped them build them and them are the mountains they was talking about, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And all of this time, we looking for these mountains, and they're right there in our face because people came in and changed the names and changed the meanings and things like that.
Yeah, that's like because a lot of stuff I think like names and stuff I change. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff that we see. That's why we can't find certain stuff like say like they say that the Garden of Eden was in Africa. Like we've been saying that, we've been seeing it and stuff like that. But the Tigris and Euphrates is in Sudan.
They run through.
You know what I'm saying? So I think like Noah and them got off the boat and started naming things had they knew it before the flood. Like if you look at like say the Tigris and Euphrates, right? This gave them life. So they just named it after what life. The Garden of Eden, the beginning of life was in the middle of the Tigris and Euphrates.
That makes sense too. So they got off the boat. They named these rivers.
Them rivers
in Sumer,
which is not what it was before the flood, where the Garden of Eden was at, but what gave them life.
Just like the River Jordan, they say that the River Jordan is a divine heavenly name. Like that's why they named it the River Jordan. So they were naming these areas and these rivers and lakes after what Noah already knew. This is what populated and gave life to where I came from.
So that's what we don't know this for sure, but me looking at things, this is what I think. You know what I'm saying? This is what I believe. I believe they got off the boat naming things from before the flood that meant things to them before the flood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Tigris and Euphrates is in Babylon, man. That's in Iraq. You know what I'm saying? If Eden was in Africa, then the Tigris and Euphrates couldn't have been in Africa and what's called, man. It don't go, them rivers don't go together and shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But to them, that would have been life. That's what it would have meant to Noah. That's the whole reason why Sumer is on the water. You know what I'm saying? Most civilizations is gonna be on water.
Yeah.
Because it gives you life. We need water to survive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's why the Tigris I don't think the Tigris and Euphrates that we see today is the Tigris and Euphrates from Adam times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.